Hey, what's up, everybody? It's JayViper, and my goodness, Avowed is back, but it's not back. Now it looks like journalists are starting to circle the wagons around this game already, and they're really already sick of the grifters who are saying that this game's going to be a problem because they dare speak out and talk about Matt Hansen and his racist comments about how he gives preference to people of color, specifically black people. Apparently, we're just making it all up, even though it's right there in black and white. And let me tell you something about this. The person who wrote this is quite the journalist. Let me tell you about it. Let's get to it right after you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.
JayViper is awesome. He's so good looking. He's got the crowd in awe.
Listen, we already know we're in for one hell of a ride when we have something like this in the headline. The campaign against Avowed reveals the bigotry that fuels the anti-woke. Now, this is written by John Walker, and we're just going to get into a little of the article, and then I want to dive in on this guy a little bit because yikes! In 2024, there's rarely been a game announced without a small but tiresomely vocal group of grifters attempting to whip up a controversy for their social media followers. Right off the bat, grifters. Now, I have to know who he's talking about here because I have to imagine it's the people he's complaining about because I did a little dive on this guy. And let me tell you, I mean, he's got some serious issues. So right off the bat, this dude is from the UK and he has Trump derangement syndrome. He freaking tweets about Trump all the time. It's not like the guy just tweets and tweets and tweets about him. A quick look at him on X is John Walker, industry anal cyst. I mean, okay, so I was like, what's anal cyst? Does this mean something? Is he making a joke about analysts? So I looked up anal cyst, and it's this on Urban Dictionary. It means a person, usually a political figure or newsreader, who thinks that their opinions and ideology is correct, even though it is based on post-truth and alt-facts. The word is a derivative of analyst. I have to imagine he's just making fun of analysts, but that is worth pointing out. And of course, this is someone who escaped to Blue Sky. Oh, okay, so let's go see how his Blue Sky is doing. So over on Blue Sky, he posted his Avowed thing that we're reading now, but then he started complaining down here. Extraordinary scenes this morning as the grifters spent the weekend coincidentally adding justification to their anti-Avowed campaign based on some innocuous leaked Slack screenshots where the devs laugh at Musk, then messaging me to explain it was about that all along. So this guy is really kind of like up in himself. He feels himself, but he doesn't stop there. Now, if anyone remembers this is from Matt Hansen, who is the art director for Avowed, right? He wrote this. Reminder to black artists out there who are looking for portfolio reviews or job advice, my DMs are open and you will always have my priority. We got too many crusty white dudes in this field. Please let me help you replace me one day. I want to go back to living in the woods. Now, when you read this, he says he wants to do portfolio reviews or job advice and that we have too many crusty white dudes. Let me help you replace me one day. Now, when you see that, do you think he's trying to get them hired or hire them because he's talking about replacing him in his position at that company? To me, this means he wants to look at them and hire them. That is how it looks. But John Walker, he's not feeling it, man. He's going to go ahead and make a 7-post thread over here on Blue Sky. All right, 1 of 7. Okay, there's one aspect of that slimy JT prick. He's talking about Smash JT, calling him a prick. Response that I want to respond to seriously because it's an example of the most insidious, dangerous thing to do. They falsely interpret something, then campaign about the imaginary version. Here's what Matt Hansen said, and I just read this. This is a message in which Hansen kindly offers support and guidance to POC via his DMs, saying he will prioritize his advice to them, given underrepresentation in the industry. This doesn't even vaguely imply offering jobs or work to anyone at all. It's not even ambiguous. And yet, meanwhile, he said he'll put them as priority and that he wants them to replace him. He wants them to replace him so he can go live in the woods. Does that happen without someone being hired at his job? It does not. So, debunked, John Walker. John also said this is deliberately misunderstood to be saying that Hansen is suggesting illegal hiring practices, the term they use over and over, and that he is being a racist to white people. It's not at all. It's silly to suggest it. It's a crusty white dude saying he wants to see more diversity. No, John, he says he wants them to replace him at his job. But the belief among those caught in the grift is now that Hansen was conducting racist illegal hiring practices. The truth is out the window, and the false reality is the foundation of the campaign. Wrong, John. You're trying to paint the new reality. And this has real consequences. Obsidian will be dealing with it. So much shit for it. Real pressure. Obsidian is owned by Microsoft, and Microsoft is a soulless corporate entity beholden to its shareholders and won't listen properly. Oh, it's the shareholders' fault. Meanwhile, we know how Microsoft is. We know them. They are all about this stuff, all about it. Illegal hiring practices sounds like something someone should do something about. Being kind and offering free advice to some people does not. But it's only ever about bigotry, about seeing someone helping an industry become more diverse, wanting to stop it. These are racist bigots. John, where is your proof of this? You're a fucking journalist, bro. I just started this freaking video. I'm already mad at you and you wrote it. This is ridiculous. Racist bigots because they believe DEI is wrong and people should be hired on merit? Go fuck yourself, John. Seriously. My whole point was that these campaigns are only ever about bigotry, and they tried to fill the gap with more bigotry. Absolute fucking bullshit. Absolute horseshit, dude. Absolute fucking horseshit. DEI is racism, John. John, listen. DEI is racism. Hiring people based on race, giving preference based on race. These things are racism, John. John, those are things racist people do, John. Get it through your thick skull. So I reached out to John earlier asking about the article because I saw grifters at the top before I started reading it. And I said, I saw you say grifters. Are there specific people? Perhaps you have an example of grifting. Thanks, John. I let him know I'll be making a video today about it, but he hasn't responded, and he's on UK time. I mean, he's reaching the nighttime as I'm making this, so clearly he doesn't want to clear anything up. And after looking at his blue sky, where he is just clearly all about labeling people something they're not, and this, I'm sorry, did he get paid for this article? Because I believe he did, and I just want to make it really clear that he got paid for this while lying, that's grifting. John, that's what grifting is. But let's continue the article. Sorry, huge tangent on the guy who wrote it, but now at least you know where the person who wrote this is coming from, and it's not a good place. So after the first sentence, and I've gone off on a tangent, let's go. No matter what the title and no matter who the developer, every announcement is meticulously scrutinized for any faint sign of a thought crime. An element that could be construed by these charlatans as proof of wokeness, something that they can decry as DEI initiative. And then this speculative notion is spun out to followers as the latest attempt to take away your games. The latest target is Avowed, but in picking on it, those running the grift have rather shown their hand. No one has shown a hand. There's no hand. We are very clear. The grifters are very clear that we are all about fixing gaming. The consumers have been clear, John. They don't want this, which is why when it's highlighted, the games fail. Suicide Squad just had its door slammed on its face. Dragon Age of Veilguard has barely sold 1.5 million copies. John, they think it's going to be 3 million total lifetime. Get it through your head, bro. It's not us. It's you. Stop circling your wagon around these things. Oh my God, I'm mad at John again. But it's so true. It's so garbage. They spin this web. This is the grift. The real grift is over here with these freaking journalists who simply are all about protecting the games industry from being scrutinized by the people who actually buy the games. The people who have gotten their voice heard and can actually be seen and are seen at a much higher rate than these clowns Like any online scam of any note, it's so brazen that it's only more depressing that it works so well. As much as it might infuriate you that someone you know would fall for a cold caller telling them that they need to send gift certificates to fix an issue with their Windows operating system, it should equally upset you that these legions of people fall for the same woke gaming grift over and over and over. It's not a grift, bro. This shit is in fucking games. Stop denying it. Is it there? John, is it there? Yes, click. Do we talk about that it's there? Yes, click. Are we wrong? Nope. Nope. No. What the hell? It's not a fucking grift, bro. If it's in there and we're talking about it and we're saying this is here, look at it, and then the consumers look at it and they're like, I don't want that. I'm not buying that. It's not a grift, you fucking idiot. A game is announced, and because it's 2024, that game may not exclusively focus on white dudes saving the world for the lady in a bikini, or a sexy lady playing dress up in various bikinis while saving the world. I mean, some still do, but this is an industry that creates games that are featured a broad range of characters. The grifters recognize this as a useful target for their grift, making claims that the game is artificially altered from what should have been, based on the desire to be perceived as progress. John, when they start slamming in pronouns, and there's no need for pronouns because you are a man or a woman, and you're trying to put ideology in a game, we say, hey, they're trying to stick ideology in a game. If you don't like the ideology, don't buy it. Wow, so grifting. Oh my gosh. Oh, wow, this is a grift that they are talking about, this being in a game. John, get a fucking life. They then use this to convince large numbers of disaffected young men young men that the world is trying to take away from their last vestige of entertainment, the only place left where they feel represented and prioritized. The only hope is to rise up and fight for what is rightfully theirs, and if they like, give some money to the grifter for a project that never sees daylight. Holy shit, dude. Get over yourself. Young men, huh? This guy hasn't been to many friggin' live chats. There are women all over the place. There's women content creators. You clown. They made incredibly clear that that's reality at the bottom of this all. Bigotry. Ah, yes. Bigotry. It must be that. Around the time of the Gamescom this year, the usual people started loudly condemning Avowed as the next piece of woke mind virus addled DEI. Why? It was this image. Yeah, pretty much right away. Right? What do we know, everyone? You can type it below before I say it. We recognize patterns. When you can do that, you can pick it out right away. It becomes obvious. And then you can dig a little more, and everything starts coming to the top. And then there's a little leak, an accidental thing here, and you're like, there it is, there it is. And that's exactly how it works. Maybe you should try actually investigative journalism sometime, John, instead of just knee-jerk journalism, which is what this is, which is just a grift. This is a grift. There's no white man. Oh, actually, I don't even notice that there's no white man. That's not the issue here. It's the way they're fucking made. It's the shapes of their faces. It's the fucking androgyny, right? It's the androgyny right here. You can tell that this game has fucking woke all over it. Look at this stupid ass thing. Yeah, there's no white guy. But see, you don't need a white guy. I don't need a white person to play. Hello, none of us do. It's not really a big deal. Honestly, to even notice the fact feels kind of weird. I'm a white guy living in a country that's 90% white, in an area of country that's 95% white. And as such, I'm fairly used to seeing people who look like me everywhere I go. Just like, this article is horrible. So, I mean, this guy clearly suffers from some serious brain rot. I'm having a hard time getting through it. I'm trying to make it fun, but here's the thing. This guy, we've looked at his timeline. We've only dug into him a little bit. This guy has Trump derangement syndrome and he doesn't even live in the United States. This guy spends too much time online reading things or getting mad at things that don't really matter. He doesn't notice clear issues that we have noticed and bring up. He calls people grifters because they're talking about things that actually exist. DEI is not an answer to anything. DEI is racism. And when we point that fact out, we are not being racist. We're saying people should be hired on merit. because for some reason, you don't feel like black people are anywhere, even though they're all over the place, right? In high positions, low positions, they're actors, they're CEOs. Like, what is this? What are we talking about here? You cannot hire based on race. It is racism. And all that does is actually hurt those jobs. If you hire someone that's not qualified for a position, but you've hired them based on their race, they are not going to perform at the level that they need to perform in that position, and they will fail in that position. And for some reason, this guy is fine with that. And he's defending it and then lying about the actual intent behind Matt Hansen's post, which I'm sorry, I do not believe was just for him to review things and help you. Meanwhile, he's giving priority to people of color. And then he goes down here, that's it. It's so boring, just like this article. My God. But it's all it is. Racism, homophobia, and misogyny are profitable, so they're the focus. The first Avowed fuss came and went in the summer, the game permanently marked to be condemned. When I wrote about my excellent hour with the game in Kotaku in August, the replies on X were bilious complaints about how the game was going to be promoted a woke agenda, based on, that picture. But, my guy, were we right? We saw the patterns. Were we right? Yes, we were. And the people behind it, guess what? Yeah, they're pretty much saying, yeah, you think that's something? Wait till you see more. I really want to know if John has any ability to, actually look at something through a lens that isn't woke, because this dude clearly is part of the problem. I mean, clearly. I was one of those SJW lamestream media journalists. I spent 6 hours playing the game and had an absolutely brilliant time with it, and that is despite there not being a single mission in which I had to paint rainbow flags on walls of... See, this guy's a mess. He is a disaster. See, the thing is he doesn't know the real problem that we have with these types of things, and the way they push agendas through games like this, which is why we're putting an end to it. We will not buy this trash because of the agenda behind it. It's not that you don't have to go paint a rainbow flag. It's the undertones, right? And what they push through their undertones. And that there is absolutely an agenda behind it. And the people behind it are all about it. I mean, they're on X telling us that they don't give a shit about it and that they can't wait till we see what else they have in store for us. So here we go. He's calling Elon Musk, saying Avowed is in deep trouble. They post to each other on X, their brows furrowed with concern over the severity of it all, because yes, horrendously, the world's richest bigot has been posting about Avowed too. This man is calling Elon Musk a bigot now, deliberately reinterpreting the art director's mocking sarcasm to be a statement of intent to be racist against white guys. Wow. This is a complete reach. This guy is reaching so hard to cover for this game. It is unbelievable. This guy isn't just grifting. This guy is a shill. And the fact that this is at Kotaku, there's some things in here that I think are inflammatory. Very inflammatory and lies and wrong. And I really feel like Kotaku should be posting a correction on this and striking some of this out. I'm not sure that this entire article should even exist. So I found this interesting. Before I wrap it up, John Walker bent the knee for BLM because, apologies, I didn't observe the 24-hour BLM social media blackout. Not reading Twitter or the news puts me way out of the loop, and I only heard about it for the first time today. This man is here bending a knee because he didn't not tweet on that day. And it looks like his payment a few days later was having mini reviews for the Itch.io BLM bundle recommendation. So it looks like that's what he had to make up for. But here's the deal, folks. We know that we're in a fight still. I mean, it's not over. Games are getting canceled that should be canceled, but it's not done. We are making incredible progress, though. I mean, we have companies like BioWare where in the back scenes, it sounds like they're starting to say we need to start making games for gamers. And we know what that means, right? Hopefully that means they're going to start purging this shit out. But we're not done because people like John Walker still exist where they're going to write hit pieces about the people who are drifting in their words, but are really just people trying to give information. I mean, it's almost every week where something like this comes out where they're trying to attack the grifters and calling them grifters when people are just trying to give information to you so you can make good decisions in your purchasing. It's like with Indiana Jones. There were some issues that people saw and the gameplay looked sus, but what did we do? We said, hold on, this is what we're seeing, but the game looks like it might be okay. And as it got closer, the reviews started coming out, and people that we trusted were playing it a little bit, saying, hey, it's actually not bad. There's some 10s getting thrown around out there by some places that are overdoing it, okay? But you know what we did? We played the game. We're streaming the game. I'm playing the game. It's okay. It's not great. I'd say go get Game Pass and play it that way. Don't buy the game because you'll be done with it and you're good. But it's not for everyone. But this is what we do. I think it's important. And when there's tons of DEI in something like with Veilguard, and they're telling us that we're just seeing ghosts as the game's coming up to release, and we know it's there, but we're seeing the patterns, we're very sure it's there, and then more things get leaked, and sure enough, we were right. I mean, come on, people. We know what we're doing. You know, and a lot of people like Hypno, Smash JT, I mean, these guys are on top of it all the time. Demion, they work hard at this, okay? And they really get a lot of information. Insiders even as well are talking to them. Then you have people like Leon, Will, the fans are running shows, talking to people, getting lots of people involved. They're willing to talk to the other side. And let me tell you, I mean, the conversation is always going. It's all about a constant moving conversation. We don't have to be right all the time, but we try to be. And that this type of thing, this person writing this article is not trying to be right. This is someone flailing their arms on Kotaku as Kotaku is dying. And that's pretty much what it is, because it's getting absolutely its ass kicked by people who are actually interested in being there for gamers, because I believe it's clear. I mean, read this article. You tell me that Kotaku is here for us. It's not. This article is here for Avowed. It's not here for gamers to get to know Avowed better. And that's pretty much what all these journalists are doing right now. It's all about who they know, having access, and then trying to use that access to get money on their website. And that is starting to fail. Anyway, that's all I have. I got really mad in this one. Sorry about that. But if you like me getting mad, let me know that you like me getting mad. But don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. And I will see you on the next one. Love you, peace. Bye, everybody.
He's owning every game.